I want to ask the very first question. It is a very imminent threat that I understand between US and Iran on the other side. Although after a 2 to 3 day internet blackout, we have seen reports that suggest that the protesters have gone down, or the protest has gone down. However, the threat from the US side remains very active and very real. I want to understand how you're feeling about this issue.
Greetings from Washington, D.C. Monday, it's the start of a new week here. The world is watching right now the situation in Iran. As you know, the news, communications, and internet is on a blackout. But right now, we know at least 500 people has been killed. There's rumors up to 2,000, and including that is also the guardsmen and the military. So it's a very contentious situation going on right now. The United States administration, Trump administration, is communicating with the ministers in Iran, and they're trying to negotiate some terms to avoid military intervention by the United States. But as we speak, the protest situation is developing as is increasing, and to the point of a somewhat of a revolution is rumored to be occurring in that country. So right now, everybody is sitting and waiting for what the Ministry of Iran is going to say to the world regarding this incident. There's talk about the incident being under control, but uh, my sources stating that is not the situation. So again, we have no idea how this thing is going to end and what the United States and other countries going to uh, consider their involvement to be. So it's an ongoing situation. It's a fluid situation, and it's minute by minute right now. So we're waiting to see the outcome, what is going on. But right now, the people and the government in Iran is in their state of siege.
As you were hearing, it's not only the inflation situation, but also the views and the notes regarding opposite genders. So there is some kind of tension or before the revolution than now what is modern day Iran. So I want to understand how you understand this issue, given that do you think that this regime will continue to run its country for coming days, or do you think Donald Trump will intervene on some of these matters?
Well, thank you for this question. It's a very interesting question. It's not a clear answer to that. The situation in Iran, as my colleague has suggested, has been going on for some time. This has been going on for a long period of time. The quality of life experienced by the average person in Iran is very dismal. Uh, the basic issues of food, water, shelter, housing is a big issue. The people are feeling that they cannot live, they cannot buy food, they cannot basically enjoy themselves because they don't have the means, and they feel that the government is contributing that, but because of the isolation that they put on upon the people, and basically current, as you know, artificial intelligence and the computer has a lot to do with information. And so the government has decided to basically black out the internet and the outside influence to basically try to control the situation. Uh, we are aware that there's outside influence trying to tell the people that they should not take this, they should uprise, they should not allow the government to treat them in this manner. So right now there's a internal conflict going on regarding, we the people in Iran think we should have food, water, and the basic needs. The government is oppressing the people, and they have advised them to uprise and deal with that. The ministry of Iran is basically telling the people that we have things in control. We are working on a solution, and everything is being going to be okay. But people are not seeing the results. So because of that, they are now speaking to the government and tell them that, hey, we need change, we need something, and we need action now. And right now, you have a situation where the government is trying to control the situation through military, police, and suppression of information going out, and it appears to be not working very well. And we're looking at this thing exploding and moving to the next level. So hopefully there will be a conclusion, a solution, so we don't have to have outside intervention like the United States to come into a country like Iran and provide a military solution, which is not a solution. It's another situation going on. And hopefully, I'm going to pray that there's not a black swan situation, such as, you know, the head of the country, something happens, or the head of the country, or some type of other changes inside the country that will ignite a already tentacle situation going on in the country. So right now, we pray, we hope that the people and the government come to some type of conclusion, and we don't have another altercation, another global conflict.
Their enrichment of 403 kilograms of uranium and this product becoming gone in the height of the 12-day war last year, it raised huge questions from international agencies such as the International Agency of Energy Association, the IAEA, responsible for nuclear activities, or nuclear watchdog, we would like to call them. So I want to come to Norman Floyd Barnes. I'm sure that you were hearing what we were discussing in the studio, and it is very important to understand that in the last 12 days we've seen movement of the US forces, and not only in the Caribbean but also taking a preparation for in the Middle East, while the leader of Iran had said that they would be attacking US bases if they feel any kind of threat, any kind of retaliation from the Western side. So I want to understand how you felt about this, given that when Donald Trump stepped into his second term, he said, we will not wage any foreign wars, we will be stepping out of that, and we will definitely take the steps to make America great again. And also in this last 12 days, we see that ICE enforcement has taken the life of Renee Good, which sparked protest not only outside but also inside the 50 states as well. So I want to get your remarks given this entire situation over the last 12 days. Norman Floyd Barnes.
Thank you for that question. Yes, indeed, 2026 has been a very unique, and it appears to be going to be a very special period of time for the world, and particularly here in the United States. There's a transitioning happening. Our government here in the United States is changing their global policies geared more towards developing and securing. Consequently, uh, domestically, we have issues with the issue of immigration. As you mentioned, the loss of life of Miss Good in Minnesota is highlighting that. We just had a protest yesterday regarding the Iranian situation where a truck tried to, in Los Angeles, exactly, tried to run through a crowd. Fortunately, the driver was arrested, but it was a attack on a crowd, trying to instigate the people. The people are not very happy with what's going on with this theme of America Great Again. The question now is not that America is great again, is what America are you talking about is great again? Because right now, just like the rest of the world, people are experiencing shortages in food, shortages in resources. They don't have basically live day to day. That's the average person. However, our country is looking at Venezuela, Greenland, the situation in Iran, We are involved in all of these external things, and our internal situation is as I mentioned, my term is a hot mess.
Mess.
Um, our administration is attempting to change and improve situation, but right now, in this process of breaking down and redeveloping is causing a lot of heartache, a lot of stress, and a lot of discomfort to the world. Uh, we still don't know, the people here, what is the overall plan? What is the objective? Why are we going to Iran? Why are we in Nigeria? Why are we in Iran?
Okay,
And what's
Norman
going
Kirakin.
on in Panama? How are we going to deal with this situation? So it is up in the air right now. We're 11, 12 days in the year, and I don't anticipate any type of slowdown. I see a more of acceleration until this government comes out with a overall view. What is the plan? Why are we doing these things to the people? Right now, our Congress has been left in the dark. They're not trusted by the administration. So things are happening without the knowledge of the people and the support of the people. So it brings up a lot of questions. And the issue of trust is now the biggest issue here. We don't understand. We don't know how to trust the government and what they're doing. No one is discussing the plan. Apparently, there is a plan, and hopefully, there's a positive outcome. But right now, it's not known to the people of this country.
I know for a fact that the adversaries of the US, namely some China, Russia, and Iran, are as a part of the expanding BRICS Plus grouping, is taking part in a naval exercise, a joint naval exercise off the coast of the Cape of Good Hope, Cape Town, South Africa. Of course, this highlights deeper military cooperation amongst non-Western powers. Of course, I want to understand how you felt, given that the de-dollarization was one of the arguments. Today, there is an open joint naval exercise between these countries, all of which share different kind of feelings, different kinds of understanding with the U.S. foreign policy and, of course, the U.S. administration. I want to get your closing remarks before I can come back in the studio. Norman Floyd Barnes.
Yes, thank you. These exercises, these military exercises, is just basically what it is an exercise on coordination of resources. And most of these, actually, the majority of these type of exercises is basically a coordination. Basically, how are we going to work together? How the resources are they looking at the future? They're looking at the situation where with the United States, uh, NATO, we're looking at Russia, looking at China, how they are now moving towards another direction. So that leads these countries to basically, well, we have to decide on our own welfare and we have to coordinate our resources. We can't depend on the big actors to come to our aid. So we have to understand that we have to have talk about self-preservation. We have to bring in our resources and work as a regional response to issues, and we can't trust that the superpowers are going to basically look out for our best interests. So we have to basically do things for ourselves, which I think is it's a wise decision to basically work on how to protect your region, how your area, and not depend on somebody else. Because if they come in, they come in as you look at Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, other places. They're coming in with solutions, but the solutions are not to your advantage. They'll be to their advantage, and basically you'll be under their control type of situation. So the best solution is basically to have your own solution. Thank you.